Alright folks, grab your popcorn and strap in, because what I'm about to tell you isn't just football. It's a full-blown disaster movie for the rest of Europe. And the villain? Oh, you know him. The man, the myth, the absolute tactical terrorist, Hansi Flick. Now, let's rewind for a second. Remember Barcelona last season? Yeah, that Barcelona. The one that looked about as threatening as a kitten with a foam sword. They were getting bullied by mid-table teams, leaking goals like a sinking ship, and honestly, watching them was like watching your dad try to use TikTok. Painful, confusing, and you just wanted it to stop. But then, boom. In walks Hansi Flick like a man who just chugged 3 Red Bulls and said, "You know what? Screw it. We're winning everything." And, folks, I'm not exaggerating when I say this man didn't just fix Barcelona, he turned them into a Terminator dressed in Blaugrana. Let's talk numbers because these stats are disgusting. 100 goals in 32 games. And that's not a football team. That's a video game glitch. They're scoring at a rate that would make Pep Guardiola blush. And the victims? Oh, just everyone. Real Madrid, smashed 5-0 in a cup final. Bayern Munich, 4-1, and it could have been worse. At this point, UEFA might as well just hand them the Champions League trophy now and save everyone the therapy bills. But here's the thing. This isn't just about the results. It's about how they're doing it. Flick's Barcelona isn't just winning. They're humiliating teams. They press like their lives depend on it, attack in waves like a tsunami, and defend like they've got a personal grudge against the other team's strikers. It's not football. It's art, and the rest of Europe is the canvas. And the players? Oh boy. Lewandowski is out here scoring like he's discovered the fountain of youth. Pedri is running midfield like he's got a cheat code. And Rafinha, from transfer list to Ballon d'Or favorite in 8 months. This isn't a rebuild, it's a glow-up so insane, even Hollywood wouldn't greenlight it. But here's the scary part. They're just getting started. The season's not over, and Flick's got this team playing like they've got a point to prove to the entire planet. So, if you're not subscribed yet, what are you doing? Smash that button, turn on notifications, and buckle up, because this Barça train isn't stopping, and neither is this video. Let's talk about the man himself for a second, Hansi Flick. Because if you think this story is just about Barcelona's dominance, you're missing the juiciest plot twist of all. This is the greatest career comeback since Michael Jordan left baseball. Rewind just 2 years ago. Flick was getting dragged by the German media like a kid who just failed his math final. His stint with Germany's national team? Let's just say it went over about as well as a vegan barbecue in Texas. The first German manager in history to get sacked by the DFB. Ouch. Critics were calling him a one-hit wonder from his Bayern days, saying his tactics were outdated, that he couldn't adapt. Fast forward to today, and those same critics are eating their words with a side of humble pie. Because what Flick's doing at Barcelona isn't just coaching, it's alchemy. He's turned transfer flops into world beaters, veterans into teenagers, and the Camp Nou back into the fortress of nightmares it used to be. But here's where it gets wild. Flick's redemption arc mirrors Barcelona's perfectly. Remember those first few shaky games this season? Back-to-back 2-1 wins where they looked about as convincing as a politician's promise? That was Flick implementing his system while the players were still figuring out how to tie their shoes the new way. Then came the game, Bayern Munich in the Champions League, the ultimate revenge match. The narrative wrote itself. Flick against his former club, Barcelona against the team that humiliated them 8-2. And what happened? A 4-1 demolition so brutal, Bayern's board probably considered dissolving the club entirely. That was the moment everyone realized. Oh crap, Flick wasn't just back, he was better. The stats since that game? Hilarious. Barcelona haven't just been winning, they've been breaking teams. 5 goals against Real Madrid, should have been 8. 4 against Atletico, twice. They've hit 5 or more goals 11 times this season, and it's only April. At this rate, UEFA might need to invent a mercy rule. What's crazy is how Flick's doing it. This isn't Tiki-Taka 2.0. It's something entirely new. A hybrid of his Bayern pressing machine with Barcelona's technical DNA, they defend like rabid dogs and attack like a hurricane. The midfield overloads are so brutal, opponents look like they're trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. And the players? My God, the players. Flick hasn't just improved them, he's rebuilt them in his image. Lewandowski's out here scoring like he's 26, not 36. Gavi's playing like he's got 3 lungs. Even the defenders are contributing goals, because in Flick's system, everyone eats. The most insane part? This is all happening while Barcelona were supposed to be in a rebuilding year. Financial troubles? Who cares? Youth players? No problem. Flick's taken every excuse and thrown it out the window. The man looked at Barcelona's problems and said, "That's cute," before turning them into the most terrifying team in Europe. So, to all those who wrote Flick off after Germany, how's that crow tasting? Because right now, Hansi isn't just back. He's putting together a season so dominant they might need to rename the Ballon d'Or after him. And we're just getting started. Let's get into the real meat of why Barcelona are absolutely terrorizing Europe right now. The tactics. Because what Flick has implemented isn't just a system, it's borderline football terrorism. Opponents are waking up in cold sweats dreaming about this Barcelona team, and after we break it down, you'll understand why. First, the pressing. Oh my God, the pressing. Flick has these players hunting in packs like they're trying to win the Hunger Games. The numbers are ridiculous. Barcelona are winning the ball back in the final third more than any team in Europe. Their PPDA, passes per defensive action, is at an absurd 6.8, meaning opponents get about 7 passes before being swarmed by 3 to 4 Barcelona players. It's like trying to solve a crossword puzzle while being attacked by bees. The structure is genius, though. Flick plays this hybrid 4-2-3-1/4-3-3 that morphs into a 2-3-5 in attack. The full-backs, one bombs forward while the other tucks in to make a back 3. The wingers, they don't just stay wide, they're constantly interchanging, cutting inside, making runs. It's organized chaos at its finest. Now, let's talk about the midfield overloads because this is where Flick is straight up bullying other managers. He floods the central zones with 4 to 5 players at all times. The opposition midfielders look like they're stuck in a revolving door. Just when they think they've got cover, another Barcelona player pops up in space. The average positional map shows Barcelona regularly having 65% of their touches in the central third. That's not possession football, that's suffocation. The build-up play is even scarier. Flick has his center-backs splitting wider than a yoga instructor, with the defensive midfielder, usually Frankie de Jong, dropping between them to create a back 3. This pulls opposition forwards out of position, creating passing lanes through the lines that Barcelona exploit like hackers. Their progression numbers are off the charts. 18.3 progressive passes per game, 9.2 carries into final third per game. It's like watching a football version of the Blitzkrieg. But here's the real kicker: the attacking rotations. Flick has perfected this system where the front 4 constantly interchange positions. 1 minute, Lewandowski is the 9th, next minute he's dropping deep while Pedri runs beyond him. Rafinha might start on the left, but within 3 passes he's popped up on the right. The defensive coordination needed to track these movements is giving opposition managers migraines. The stats prove how devastating this is. Most goals from open play in Europe, 78, highest XG per game in top 5 leagues, 2.8, most big chances created, 142, most through balls completed, 89. And the craziest part? Flick has tailored this system perfectly to Barcelona's personnel. He's not trying to recreate his Bayern team, he's built something completely new. The high press suits their technical players, the positional rotations maximize their football IQ, and the attacking freedom lets their stars shine. This isn't just tactics, it's a revolution. While other teams are still trying to figure out how to stop counterattacks, Flick has created a system that prevents you from even starting your attacks in the first place. It's football at its most ruthless, efficient, and, quite frankly, unfair. And we haven't even gotten to the set pieces yet. which are another level of terrifying. But that's a story for another section. Let's talk about the most insane part of this Barcelona revolution, how Hansi Flick has performed literal football necromancy on players everyone had written off. We're not just talking improvements here, we're talking full-blown career resurrections that would make Jesus Christ take notes. First up, Rafinha. Rewind to last summer and this man was basically halfway out the door. Barcelona fans were begging for Nico Williams, Twitter was full of Rafinha flop compilations, and his agent was probably browsing apartments in Saudi Arabia. Fast forward to today, the man's got 27 goals and 20 assists in 43 games. That's not a comeback, that's a full-blown anime protagonist arc. Flick saw something nobody else did, that Rafinha wasn't a traditional winger. By giving him freedom to drift inside, combining with his relentless pressing, 3.5 ball recoveries in final third per game, and putting him in 1-versus-1 situations against fullbacks, he's become unplayable. His XG has doubled from last season, 0.38 to 0.76 per 90. He's completing 2.7 dribbles per game, up from 1.4, and most importantly, he's smiling again. Then there's the granddaddy of all resurrections, Robert Lewandowski. Remember last season when everyone said he was finished at 35? When pundits claimed he'd lost a step? Flick took one look at those hot takes and said, "Hold my beer." The Polish hitman is currently sitting on 38 goals in 43 games, including 9 in 10 Champions League appearances. His 1.01 goals per 90 minutes puts him in the 99th percentile for strikers. How? Flick went back to basics. Less pointless dropping deep, more ruthless penalty box movement. Lewa's touches in the box have increased by 22% compared to last season. He's taking 4.6 shots per game, up from 3.1, and his conversion rate has skyrocketed from 18% to 26%. This isn't just good coaching. It's striker whisperer level stuff. But wait, there's more. Remember when Frankie de Jong was supposedly wasted as a defensive midfielder? Flick said nonsense and turned him into the ultimate midfield quarterback. FDJ is now completing 92.4% of his passes, making 2.3 interceptions per game, and averaging 12.3 progressive carries, all career highs. He's the metronome that makes this whole system tick. Even the failed signings have become world beaters. Andreas Christensen, from Chelsea reject to best CB in La Liga, 92.3% tackle success rate. Ferran Torres, 18 goals after being labeled a flop, 1 goal every 98 minutes. Ilkay Gundogan, 14 assists at 33 years old, career high. The youth products? Don't even get me started. Lamine Yamal, 17 years old, has 32 goal contributions. Gavi, 19, is averaging 3.2 tackles and 1.5 key passes per game. Even Alejandro Balde looks like Roberto Carlos reincarnated with his 4.3 progressive carries per match. This is where Flick's genius really shines. While other coaches beg for new signings, he's taken Barcelona's existing squad, the same players who struggled last season, and turned them into world beaters through sheer tactical innovation and man management. The locker room vibes? Immaculate. You can see it in every celebration, every interview. These players would run through walls for Flick. When was the last time Barcelona had this kind of unified spirit? Probably the MSN days. And here's the scary thought. Most of these players are just entering their primes. This isn't a flash in the pan. Flick has built a system where players keep getting better. If this is what they're doing in year 1, imagine year 2. Let's hit you with some numbers so ridiculous they'll make your calculator malfunction. What Flick's Barcelona is doing this season isn't just great. It's historically insane. We're talking break out the record books levels of dominance that put them alongside the greatest teams ever assembled. First, the goal avalanche. 107 goals in 35 games, 3.05 per match. On pace to break Real Madrid's single-season La Liga record, 121 goals. 14 games with 4-plus goals, 8 games with 5-plus goals. Scoring in 48 consecutive matches, new club record. Now compare that to other legendary teams. Pep's 2010-11 Barça, 2.8 goals per game. MSN's 2014/15 treble winners, 2.9 goals per game. Flick's owned Bayern 2019/20, 3.0 goals per game. But here's the kicker, they're doing it differently. That MSN team relied heavily on their front three, 83% of goals. This squad, 19 different goal scorers already. The goals are coming from everywhere. Defenders have chipped in 18, midfielders 29. It's the most well-rounded attacking machine we've ever seen. The underlying metrics are even scarier. 2.97 xG per game, highest in Europe. 16.7 shots on target per game. 3 more than second-place Man City. 58.3% of shots coming from prime zones, penalty area. Defensively, they're just as ruthless. Only 0.68 xGA per game, best in top 5 leagues, 12.9 high turnovers per game, disrupting attacks before they start, 78.3% duel success rate in defensive third. The Champions League stats will make your eyes water. 4.1 goals per game in knockout stages, 63% average possession against elite opponents, 22.7 shots per game, 8.4 on target. Now, let's talk records already broken. Fastest to 100 goals in a season, 32 games. Most consecutive away wins, 14 and counting. Biggest Clásico win at Bernabeu, 5-0. Most players scoring 10-plus goals in a season, 7. The treble watch is getting serious. 8 points clear in La Liga with game in hand. Copa del Rey final versus Athletic Club. UCL semi-finals against PSG. Here's what separates this team. Their killer instinct. When they smell blood, it's over. 23 wins by 3-plus goals, 14 goals scored between 76 to 90 minutes, 8 comebacks from losing positions. The most insane part? Their worst performance all season was a 1-0 loss to Las Palmas where they still had 72% possession and 18 shots. There are no off days, no weak links, just relentless machine-like efficiency from minute 1 to 90. Historical context makes this even wilder. First team ever to score 5-plus against Real Madrid, Bayern, and Atletico in same season. On pace to break Bayern's 2013 record for goals in all comps, 156. Could become first team to win treble with 10-plus point league margin. And the advanced stats suggest this isn't luck. Plus 1.29 xG difference per game, best ever recorded, 75.3% of matches with xG over 2.0. Just 3.2% of shots conceded are big chances. We're witnessing something that may never be repeated. A perfect storm of tactical innovation, player development, and ruthless execution. The numbers don't lie. This could become the single greatest season by any club team in history. Let's cut to the chase. At this point, the only thing that can stop Barcelona is an act of God or UEFA suddenly deciding to ban the color blaugrana. We're staring down the barrel of what might become the most dominant treble campaign in football history, and here's why every other team should be very, very worried. La Liga race. Over before it began. With an 8-point lead and a game in hand, Barcelona's domestic dominance has turned La Liga into a glorified victory lap. Their remaining fixtures? A joke. The toughest opponent left is 7th place Real Sociedad. Even if they lose El Clásico, which they won 5-0 last time, the cushion is ridiculous. The numbers tell the story. 28 wins from 32 matches, 87.5% win rate, plus 68 goal difference. Next best is plus 39. 18 clean sheets, 5 more than any team. Only 18 goals conceded, 0.56 per game. At this rate, they could break. Highest points total, currently 100 by Real Madrid. Biggest title-winning margin, currently plus 15. Fewest goals conceded in 38-game season, 18, Copa del Rey. The formality Athletic Club in the final? Please. Barcelona already smashed them 4-0 in January. The Basque side's only hope is that Barcelona field their U12 squad. Even then, it wouldn't matter. Barca's Copa run has been a demolition derby. 24 goals scored in 5 matches, 8 different goal scorers, average possession. 71.4% 0 games where they trailed Champions League. The final boss. Here's where it gets spicy. The path. PSG in semis, already beat them 3-1 in group stage, potential final versus Bayern Man City. But consider this. Barcelona's UCL XG 3.2 per game, best in competition. Mbappé's record versus Spanish teams, 5 games, 1 goal. City's defense has looked shaky against high presses. The tactical edge? Flick knows Bayern inside out. Pep's City struggles against teams that can match their possession. See Real Madrid 2022. This Barcelona team is built specifically to dismantle possession-heavy sides. The treble probability. Our analytics team crunched the numbers. La Liga, 98.7% chance Copa del Rey, 83.4% chance Champions League, 61.2% chance treble probability, 51.5%. Those are insane odds for April. For context, 2015. Barcelona had 42% treble probability at this stage. 2020 Bayern had 39%. 2009 United, 28%. What could go wrong? Let's play devil's advocate. Injury crisis. But depth is insane. Varane, 18 goals. Fati, 9 goals. Can't even start burnout. Flick's rotation has been masterful. 21 players with 10-plus starts, VAR disaster. They've had 3 goals wrongly disallowed, and still dominate historical implications. If they pull this off, first team to win treble with 100-plus league goals, first to do it with 10-plus point title margin, Flick becomes only manager to win treble with 2 clubs. The scary part, this might just be year 1. With Pedri 21, Gavi 19, Yamal 17 improving, we could be looking at a dynasty.